This is the Jocko Underground Podcast, number 176. Sitting here with Echo Charles, here to answer your questions, provide courses of action, recommendations, sometimes even plans.
Yeah.
Advice.
Oh, yeah.
Counsel.
Oh, yeah.
Based on the questions that you all send us. So,
bro, this life can be confusing, and without not everybody has like solid guidance at every step of the way.
That is true.
That's why this stuff can be very helpful.
Can be. Check. All right, let's get into it. First question.
Real quick, you were 18, right, when you joined the military?
Technically, I was 17 when I joined, and I was 18. Yes.
So you graduated high school.
Yes.
Graduated. What was your? Because you lived in like rural, right?
The middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So you graduated high school, actual graduation, or was that a GED scenario?
No, it wasn't a GED scenario, but I did leave high school kind of early because I had all the credits that I needed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. See. Okay. Either way, we're done with high school, legitimately, officially. Did you go right into the military?
No,
right after?
There's a waiting period, so I had to wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long?
It was long.
Like more than a year?
Yeah, it was close to.
So you graduated high school. Usually that's in. When were you done school?
89.
89.
Class of 89. Get some.
So you. But
then I left in 90.
So that okay. But that's usually in June.
Yeah.
So June. Do you remember how early? The only reason I'm asking, I want to know how many years or months or days or how long of a time did you have in your whole life where you didn't really have much guidance or like, you didn't have the direction,
Yeah. I mean, I kind of count the first 18 years of my life as
that. Yeah. I mean, not really though, because you had both parents.
Yeah.
You had school.
Yeah.
It's like that's guidance. It's legit guidance. Like some people, some of us will say, after high school, you go to college because that's sort of how. And then, bro, when I was done, freaking no guidance, absolutely none.
Yeah, there's the military is like a whole nother level of guidance.
Yeah,
it's full on guidance. Yeah, which is very helpful.
Yeah, and
it's honestly, it's kind of incredible.
Yeah,
that you can just have no clue.
Yeah,
and you join the military, and you have a job, you have a paycheck, you have health insurance, you have dental, you have food every single day, you have a place to live, and you are considered to be by most people. To be like a positive contributor to society. Yeah. It is truly incredible.
Yeah. And
it's amazing.
Not to mention one of the more important parts, you have training and guidance. You don't know what to do. Sure. There's no confusion. No. Like you don't know what to do. Bro, ask this guy. He'll know. Ask somebody who's right in your vicinity. Matter of fact, you
don't even need to ask him. They're going to tell you. They know you need guidance.
Exactly right. And training. Bro, you want to be...
When I went to officer candidate school, because I was older, but like... these women came in to talk to us, and they were, and I was a married dude at the time, but they were talking to these young officer candidates, and they were saying that there's going to be hoochie mamas out. They said there's females in the class too, right? Yeah. But these women didn't care. They were giving a warning to these young officer candidates. When you go on to town, there's going to be hoochie mamas out there. They're looking... And they're quoting like Officer and Gentleman. It was classic.
Wait, who were these people?
I forget. They were women that were teaching us some course on something, like some course on, I forget. Maybe it was about, the benefits of the Navy or the moving. It was like some administrative part of the Navy.
It was still, okay. So it was military stuff. Still.
Yeah, but they weren't military. They're civilians, but clearly, again, I forget what they did, but they were supposed to talk to us for half an hour about whatever the subject was, but they talked to us for 20 minutes about hoochie mamas.
Hell yeah.
It was classic.
But that does kind of bring up a good point where, that is another thing. That's something that the military won't train you and teach you and guide you with, like how to deal with breakups and, girls, like all this stuff. I mean, they might have some good sexual harassment guidance, like, hey, let's avoid that in the workplace kind of a thing.
Yeah,
but like, what?
Yeah, they have that.
Yeah. But like how to deal with a breakup, like, bro, So I'm just saying, this is good guidance.
Yeah, but you're right. But because you have a mentor, not a technical mentor, but you show up to work and you're like all bummed out. Someone's gonna go, "Hey, what's up? What's up, Charles?" And you go, "Man, my girlfriend just dumped me." "Oh, dude, don't worry about that. There's gonna be, he's gonna be able to help you out.
Yeah,
like you're gonna get to.
Yeah, we'll say.
Oh, they're gonna be like, "Hey, let's go down to Pacers, which is the local strip club."
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's not gonna be the most healthy answer, but it's probably gonna help Charles get through the night
in the moment. Yeah. So as far as that, it's kind of rogue. So there's going to be varying levels of sophistication with that type of guidance.
Yeah.
We'll say.
True. That.
Okay. There you go. Well, hey, look, we got you this time. Nowadays, here's some guidance from Jocko, who was in the military, who got guidance kind of his whole life, really.
Yep.
Seen a lot, done a lot. And now he's going to give us some guidance.
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. First question. Okay, hi Jocko. I'm a single mom of 5, former school teacher, now working at a medical school while earning my doctorate. I'm a blue belt in Jiu Jitsu because of our podcast. Hell yeah. Run marathons and live with a strong personal code: discipline, loyalty, sacrifice, and faithfulness. About a year ago, I fell in love with a man who seemed to embody those same values. He's a former Marine and Jiu Jitsu practitioner. Hell yeah. We built a deep connection. He met my kids, asked me to move to his town, and talked about us living together and building a life. So I did it. I sold out for the mission. I moved to his city with my children, leaving behind a financially secure, hard-earned life where I owned my home and had a functioning budget and the support of friends and church. Right as I arrived, he backed off, saying he needed space, then told me we shouldn't talk or see each other for 6 months to test, quote unquote, test if what he feels is love or just lust. He says this is about spiritual clarity, but waiting in silence has taken me from being a badass warrior to an exhausted, anxiety-ridden shell of a person. I cry all the time and worry I'm nearing a total breakdown. I can hardly think about anything except trying to get this guy back. Now I'm operating in the negative, trying to find a renter for my home, living in a new place with no support network. I gave him literally everything I had, and he's not sure if he wants me. What should I do now? Do I fight for this relationship? Do I wait in silence alone for 6 months for him? Thanks for everything you do.
Do you wait in silence alone 6 months for him? No. No, you don't. This is very strange, right? This is a very strange scenario. It doesn't sound healthy. He's made some really weird decisions and asked you to do things. Asking you to leave you got 5 kids. He's asking you to, and you own a home and you got a good job, and asked you to give all that up only so that you could be left hanging like this. Yeah, I don't like this. And you know what's interesting is sometimes I'll discuss these questions with my wife, and seems like quite a bit of the time we get questions where a guy is asking us, should I stay with this girl who's done these whatever things they are? And I'm usually like, I think you have to have a very high standard for your relationships, a very high standard. When you see things that are red flags, you should, in most cases, avoid those red flags. Get away from that person. And sometimes my wife will be she'll think I'm a little bit callous. And I think she has the tendency to want to support the female in the situation because she's a female. But I don't, to me, it's not male, female. It's like red flags are red flags. Yeah. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female. If you're getting into a relationship with another human being and you see red flags, this is not going to get better. It's just not going to get better. Now, look, you see an orange flag, you see a yellow flag, okay, we understand. But you see red flags, straight up red, then think this is not good. So in this situation, I would probably write him a letter and explain that this situation is unacceptable to you, and you are in the process of squaring things away and returning to your old life without him. And that's what I would do. And he has, 12 hours to report back on hands and knees, begging and, accepting that we're going to be together, or leave. This guy is not what you think he is, just because someone's in the Marine Corps or the Navy or the SEAL teams or the Green Berets or whatever. It doesn't matter. There's freaking awful people in all those groups. Guy trains Jiu Jitsu, whatever, means nothing. Can it be cool? Sure, it can be cool. Yeah. It can definitely be cool, but it doesn't mean they're a good person at all. This is very strange behavior. Very, very strange behavior. And even if you wanted to test the love or lust theory, right? Just, okay, cool. We won't have physical intimacy, but we'll still hang out. Well, we'll see how that test goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fully.
But just to say, don't contact me for 6 months once you moved here, that's disrespectful. That's freaking manipulative. That's bad. You got 5 kids. And by the way, you sound pretty awesome. So keep doing awesome stuff. Keep running marathons. Keep going to school. Keep getting your doctorate. Keep training jiu-jitsu. And eventually, a real man that lives these values will find you. And if one doesn't, that's fine. You got 5 kids. You're awesome. You got plenty of stuff going on. You're going to help a bunch of people. Being a doctor in the medical field, this guy does not seem to be the one. So I would give him an ultimatum. And normally I'm not an encourager of ultimatums, but this guy needs an ultimatum. You got 12 hours, dude. But even that, I'd be careful, because he seems like the type of person that would, okay, and then he's going to do other weird shit. This doesn't sound good. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Red flags, avoid.
Let me offer another perspective.
Let's hear it, dude.
Either way, I think that's the move.
Look, just real quick. I tried in my head, what if this dude is just okay, I need to make sure that this is 100%. I need to make sure, let's wait 6 months. For instance, if a dude's going on deployment and he meets a girl, you're like, hey, dude, just wait 6 months, go on deployment, see if it's for real, right? Yeah, that's cool. I understand. I've given that advice before.
Yeah, I agree.
I have given that advice before. This is not the same thing.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Potentially, yeah. So this is a possibility, because there's a lot of variables unknown, we'll call them. So you know how you said, and I agree, that this is weird, this is strange behavior, right? Where it's hell yeah, they're hitting it off, all good. He's like, yeah, come move here, and all this. We talked about moving, all this stuff or whatever. So, and I'm not saying she did this. I'm just saying these are things we have to consider, because we haven't heard from the guy, so we don't know. Put bluntly, did she become clingy, right? Too clingy? And I don't mean just clingy, because she said, according to her, she was this kind of badass chick, right? Very desirable as far as what we're seeing. But then became a shell of a person, right? After a while. So was she so badass or whatever, and then the mere thought or hint of getting together, she became she flipped and came off as desperate, right? And look, I'm not saying that's good, bad, nothing. I'm just saying, did she kind of change who she is and become less attractive? You see what I'm saying? To this guy. So if he's and who knows, what if they're talking about, yeah, maybe move in or whatever, and then she all of a sudden just shows up at his doorstep or whatever.
If you did that, then that could have triggered some of this behavior. But either way, your protocol needs to be the same.
100%. That's correct. So basically it goes let's say this were the case. Let's say I'm right? What I'm implying is, put bluntly, I'm not saying anyone did anything. I'm just saying this is something to consider, where you're this badass girl, you're going to school, you got jiu-jitsu, the whole deal, principled, the whole deal, and then you got enamored with this guy and then folded into this real insecure shell of a person, your words or her words, then she became that, right? No, support network, the whole thing, just you kind of became a different person. I don't know how attractive that is to to a guy if he's attracted to this original girl that you are. See what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that's good, bad, nothing like that. No judgment. I'm just saying, what if that's the dynamic? And like I said before, either way, that's the move. The move is like, hey, whether it's your fault, his fault, or whatever, the move is to go back and be badass. And if what I'm suggesting is the case, or what I'm introducing is the case, then he'll be like, oh, then maybe you'll have a chance to maybe kind of get back together. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you even want that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is it's not necessarily him being weird. It could be her kind of flipping the script just a little bit.
Could be.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep. Definitely pay attention to that in the future. He might not have had as strong as feelings as you had. And then when you went full bore, like, oh, I'll move there. And then you got there and he's like, hold on a second. Yeah. I expected a little resistance, you know, and here you are, sold your house or whatever, moved out here. Wait a second, I'm not ready for this.
Exactly right.
So, which again, your protocol needs to be the same. Like walk away.
Correct.
And then just pay attention in the future. Make sure that you... That is a little excerpt of what we are doing on the Jocko Underground podcast. So if you want to continue to listen, go to jockounderground.com and subscribe. And we're doing this to mitigate our reliance on external platforms so we are not subject to their control. And we're doing it so we can give you more control, more interaction, more direct connections, better communications with us, strengthen this legion of troopers that are in the game with us. So thank you. It's jockounderground.com. It costs $8.18 a month. And if you can't afford to support us, we can still support you. Just email assistance@jockounderground.com and we'll get you taken care of. Until then, we will see you mobilized underground.